Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. Who's government is?
I think Mark Zuckerberg is probably fine as long as he didn't say, I remember when I was human. Still human. Currently.
Yo, I geeked out so hard because I was like, wow, this man really just like slipped up. And it's almost like he has to be aware of the like Mark Zuckerberg is a robot memes, right? Like there's no way he's not aware of it.
True. The cool thing is we can actually just watch we can watch his videos on the TV right now.
Yo. Reactions without the cam.
Oh right, that's fine. That would be pointless. Right.
I mean, it wouldn't be that pointless. You know, people would hear our voices rising up and crashing through. This is Doc.
And this is Ziggy.
With the flood.
And I should have seen that one coming.
You know, the way that people see this coming every week. It's your favorite pop culture digest.
Where we take the culture and we put it in context.
And we use our pop perspective
to make the mainstream make
sense.
sense.
You know what it is. You already know what it is. I mean, how many episodes deep are we?
Well, considering this is going to release 2 days before my birthday, and we already celebrated my birthday on the pod once already, at least a year.
Whew, we deep in this game. But that's how y'all need it. That's how y'all need us to be, so we can bring y'all back that heat. So y'all don't have to be out here in these streets risking your lives trying to figure out what you gonna stream tonight, because we here, we got it for you. You're not gonna be stuck at that water cooler tomorrow looking like a motherfucking idiot. You already gonna know what's happening ahead of the game because you locked in with Doc and Ziggy. What the fuck? Need I say more?
That was impressive. That was like you were doing like a hype trap for like a Logan Paul fight.
Hey, you gotta be, because the people gotta know. People gotta know, man, and we here to let the people know.
So, as we started to figure out, I seem to get all of the crazy Twitter shit. You get all of the more long-form stuff.
The news updates, notable events,
and because of that, you
sports.
get kind of all of it here. So, some things I saw on Twitter is Kevin Hart's mad at cancel culture. Nestle uses slavery. Wizards of the Coast, fuck them.
I hate these outlines because you say shit like Nestle uses slavery, and I just have to wait till we get to it to discuss it.
You see? We call that a cliffhanger. Or a hook. A teaser.
Or clickbait.
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 That is such a clickbait headline.
Nestle uses slavery.
Nestle uses slavery. We actually have NBA playoffs kind of set. The Catholic Church versus Joe Biden.
Ooh.
Macy Gray with some hot takes. And the strangest concert I've seen in a long time.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Also, American Airlines is getting their just desserts.
So where do you want to start?
How about we start with something I didn't mention at all, and while he's not here to defend himself, I'm pretty sure you will have a take. Perv had an island on the Bo Burnham podcast.
Oh, word. I hope y'all listen to that little special we dropped, that little sneaky special we dropped on y'all.
Yep, it was me and Perv. We went over the Bo Burnham special, which I did not expect to have one of the most thoughtful and poignant pieces of media to come out in a long time to be from Bo Burnham. So yeah, that's why I wanted to go in.
I didn't finish watching it. I'm sorry. Boo! Shame on me.
We also just forgot to talk about it.
I mean, because I didn't finish watching it. I still haven't finished watching it. last week it was hectic.
Yeah.
I was out till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I think I talked about that on the pod. I may not have talked about it on the pod because it was just heavy. DC is wild. Anyway.
The energy levels are dropping down. And going to bed.
Yeah. This week we got coffee. I'm on a whole different work schedule now. Shit is wild.
So, Perv's Island. 36 Chambers is the greatest hip-hop album in history. And hip-hop would not be anything like it is today without it. The second one I think we both could say is true. Just saying the impact of that album is super important. Now, the hot take is the best album of all time. Hip-hop album of all time.
What does Perv's, like, what does his catalog look like? Because
he started, alright, so, as he said on the pod, he got into hip-hop from nu metal, then he found Wu-Tang, and then from there he split, and he pretty much covers all the bases.
You've already told me all I need to know.
Alright, okay,
You've already told me all I need to know. No offense to Perv, you can totally listen to what you want to listen to. But to call 36 Chambers the greatest hip-hop album of all time is blasphemy, sir. I'm not saying that, and that's no disrespect to the Wu, but I mean, come on, I don't know, there's so many albums.
One of the first
that
one...
you just willingly casted to the side for probably, the most, I don't know, surface level deep cut of all time. Calling 36 Chambers a deep cut feels like...
He didn't call him a deep cut.
I guess he can't be calling it a deep cut. But I feel like your random, pop fans not gonna know fucking 36 Chambers. They're just gonna know Cream. They're not gonna know any other song off that fucking album.
I mean, when the first visual that pops in my head when I think of greatest hip-hop album of all time is Nas's face over top of top of Queensbridge.
Fucking the blueprint. Fucking Get Rich or Die Trying. I don't... Need I keep going? Do I really need to keep going?
Okay, I think we established where you stand on this.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me. It's a great album, but to call it the greatest... I mean,
it's
fucking
one of my favorites.
Doggy Style, fucking The Chronic.
I mean, I always like to say that there's a difference between best and favorite. And they don't have to be the same.
That's fair, right?
My favorite basketball player is Kevin Garnett. He's not the best of all time.
I say the same shit about Tupac,
but
right?
He's my favorite.
Tupac is my favorite rapper, right? Totally not the best rapper ever, son. And I'm not afraid to say that shit. It would be weird to say that shit, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't...
He's not. And I feel, alright, when it comes to, GOAT hip-hop thing, I feel like people... immediately just a lot of the times I feel like they just throw Biggie and Tupac in, honestly, because they're dead. Same reason people are like, Kurt Cobain's one of the best rock stars of all time.
See, and to me...
Or Jim Morrison was so great, or Janis Joplin was
alright, so here we go again, right? Because now we're talking about,
death art.
I was gonna say, what's your credentials for great art? What qualifies as the greatest rapper of all? Are we talking about technical ability?
No, we've already done this.
Exactly, that's my point. That's my point. That's why I'm just dead this argument, Joe. It's so fucking, unless we sit down and we establish
and we go through the scale again.
Yeah. Our scale, or a universal scale.
I think our scale's pretty damn good.
Just stop the madness.
Okay, let's stop making you angry. Well, this still might make you kind of
enjoy your music. It doesn't have to be the greatest of all time. If you like Tekashi 6ix9ine, that's on you, bro. Just don't call that nigga the greatest ever. Why? That's so subjective. There's so many rappers. There's no way you could have listened to all of them. Stop it.
Okay.
And besides, we all know the greatest rapper ever is Nas.
Are you a rapper or a scientist?
And the best rapper ever is Royce the 5'9". So
his podcast with Lupe is pretty wild.
Yo.
Did you listen to the 2 episodes about Jesus?
No. No.
They did a 2-episode feature on Jesus, because Lupe, the first episode, he was just like, alright, so here's the thing, like, Jesus is one of the most poisonous things in mankind.
Wow, that's a hot take.
And he was like, I get it, the narrative of Jesus. We've used the narrative of Jesus and we've worked it to do good and terrible things.
Yes.
But this whole story is saying you have to die. The next episode, they bring a priest on.
I'm gonna have to listen to this episode. I still think it's wild that two of the arguably best rappers, like technically best
in the
rappers alive right now, have a podcast together.
And
it's good.
And it's good, and it's not what you would expect.
It's better than the Joe Budden podcast.
Well, this next one might make you happy. It also might make you angry. I'm just gonna say it. But how was your Juneteenth? Your federal holiday, Juneteenth?
Can we start with the irony of you asking me how my Juneteenth was?
Yeah, we can.
I'm not gonna say that, you're not allowed. It's not that you're not allowed to ask your black friends how their Juneteenth was. It's just, if you have black friends, then you would know that most of us feel indifferent about this shit. And it really was like another day. I went walking in downtown Annapolis because I was gonna go see a parade, but the parade didn't come through downtown Annapolis, and I felt some kind of way about that.
But it's certainly noteworthy.
It's noteworthy because at the same time we have all these like voting rights laws,
People
restriction
trying to get
laws.
passed and everything.
Yeah, Florida absolutely like banned critical race theory. Like, oh hey, yeah, get ready for this because how the fuck?
Why is this a federal holiday? Because nothing happened.
How can we mandate Juneteenth as a federal holiday? And I'm not the only one who said this. It's just really absurd, right? To be like, oh, okay, here's this new federal holiday that I don't really care about anyway. So what I'm gonna do is make it illegal to fucking have your teachers teach kids about why there's this fucking federal holiday, so we can just have more ignorant fucking kids running around the United States, because that's what we need, right? Us celebrating things we have no idea why we're celebrating.
Wouldn't help in Alabama, they can't read.
It's stupid, Joe. It is absolutely stupid that this whole push against critical race theory, like, I saw something that said that
Alright, so let's
News,
break down what that is actually.
it's a loaded term first and foremost,
Yes.
right? I don't like it. It's okay from a marketing perspective. I hate it, right?
Oh,
Like,
it's awful.
because it's given ammunition to the opposition, right? Like when you hear the term critical race theory,
Well, you think critical, you think 2x damage. And you're like, oh shit, that's heavy.
this motherfucker 2x damage. Yeah, yo, like you're automatically coming in like anxious, like, and then you hear race, which is another hot button. It's just full of hot button topics.
And then
critical
theory.
race theory,
Theory,
right?
which inherently is, we're not
Get into
saying
it.
this is true.
No, none of this is actually established or holds any weight, per se. It's a theory, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Why would you call it that? In a world where people literally get bent out of shape about a dude kneeing
Hold on,
during
wait. If it was branded as the 1619 Project, who's to say the critical race theory wasn't a spin from somebody else to make it sound as sharp and pop as
Oh, it
possible?
probably was. It probably entirely was.
Okay, so what would be the best way for you to rephrase what this is actually called?
Oh, God. Here's the truth, America. This is what happened. This is what we did. Like, I saw this breakdown.
It would just be called history,
Right.
comma, really.
Yes, really. Period.
History, for real this time.
And that's the entire problem, right? That is literally the entire problem right there. When you go through like past schooling and stuff like that, you can see it's we've joked about this before. Like, U.S. history is literally the Founding Fathers, Civil War. No, Pilgrims, Founding Fathers, Civil War, World War II.
No, all right. So it's Revolutionary War, and then the Big Dick Energy War of 1812. Because England, I was talking to Periwinkle about this earlier this week. Because England was like, you know what? We don't fuck with you still. So we're gonna come back. And then once we were like, no, fuck you, England. It burned the White House down. Why is the White House painted white?
Yo, but
what was it called before it was called the White House?
Was it called something else before? I guess it had to have been. What was it called?
I don't know. Look it up. So yeah, it was originally called the President's House or the President's Palace.
I was gonna say, don't skip over the President's Palace. Son, like, how the fuck do you leave England because of the king
to make a palace
for your new king? The fuck?
Well,
See?
Washington did. They wanted to make him king, and then he was like,
No!
That's the point!
Do you all not get it? No, they don't get it. We literally don't get it. Because look at us. So, as I was stating earlier, the whole problem is depending on your class, depending on the region you grew up in, everybody's got a different understanding of what the fuck, and depending on how far you actually took your education.
Yep.
Everybody has a different understanding of the history of this country, and that is why we cannot agree on anything. Absolutely anything, and I stand on that. I fucking stand on that to the death. I will die on this hill.
Macy Gray came out on Juneteenth with a hot take pretty much just about that.
Are you saying that me and Macy Gray actually agree on something?
You might.
Not that me and Macy Gray, not that I wouldn't agree with Macy Gray on things.
She came out at like 8 in the morning on Juneteenth on Twitter.
You keep saying came out, and I feel like you're gonna tell me she's like a lesbian.
No. She posted very early in the morning on Twitter an op-ed was written by Macy Gray, and she said the flag needed to be redesigned. 52 stars, 13 stripes, but the white stripe should be like an off-color white, and all of the stars should be different skin tones.
And all of the stars should be different skin tones?
Yeah.
Okay. So, she didn't put up... Oh, okay, I see it. I see it now. Actually, I'm not opposed to this.
No.
I don't like it. I'm not opposed to it, though.
I like the idea's not bad.
Yes, I support the sentiment.
The idea's not bad.
From a marketing and design perspective, though, that flag kind of clashes. Or no,
yeah, it looks like, honestly, it looks like a Unity project from from like first grade.
Not
like everybody make a star.
Okay, maybe not first grade, but like it definitely looks like a
something
class
you would see in an elementary school hanging in the hallway.
It looks like art teacher Macy Gray, Mrs. Gray, was like, okay, class, so for the end of the year, I want you guys to think about how you could redesign the American flag to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
And this is what they came up with.
That's a perfect description. Did it win, though?
No.
No, is that like the third place finisher?
No, if I was judging, no, this wouldn't win at all. I'm sorry. No. It's not a bad idea, right? Like, but I do agree that it's time.
The group passes. They definitely get like a B something.
I think it's time, though. I really do think it's time for a change.
The flag has been redesigned countless times. People, if you actually look, like, it's literally been redesigned like 20 different times.
And I think it's time for a new one, honestly.
And it doesn't have to be a new flag. It can just be like an adjustment to the one we have, like every other change we've had.
Nah, fuck that. It's time, yo. Like, leave the bullshit behind. This is new America. Look.
America, comma, really?
Fuck that. Like, this, what do they call it? This is as velvet as this revolution is gonna get, right? Like, either we get with it now and we just adopt this new life, or like there's gonna be some real clashes coming forth. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for, and this is just another hot take for me, right? I think if it wasn't for the media game being played right now, people would be more inclined to adjust to the new standard of things. But we take non-issues and we constantly politicize them.
Like critical race theory.
Exactly, because what the fuck is it to teach people about what actually, and you know what I learned that isn't, or I'm not gonna say isn't being spoken about, but I guess is being clouded by the hot button topic that is, or the hot button headline that is critical race theory, is the fact that this shit isn't being pushed in like lower course schools and stuff like that. Like, they're not talking
This is
about
like
doing
high school,
not
college.
even it's college. It is literally just like basic level college classes that they're talking about, like mandating. It's not high school shit. It's not elementary school, not even fucking middle school. But Fox News is making conservatives and shit lose their fucking minds because they are leaving out fucking pieces of the article for the headline.
So it would just be like your History 101 class has some of this stuff put in it now?
Yes, is a part, critical race theory would be a part of the curriculum. And
I mean, it's American history. It's not all sunshine and daisies.
literally, we do Civil War, World War II.
We had, not only is Sam Adams a frat bro, the Boston Tea Party was a frat party.
Pretty much. I mean, when it was a
frat party.
It was a bunch of drunk rich dudes who were like, you know what?
Let's get up and cosplay and throw shit in the water.
Let's do something to make ourselves feel better about fucking King George and his taxes.
And they did that because they started taxing tea. Fucking tea!
After they had been taxing a whole bunch of other shit. It's not like they were just taxing tea.
It was the stamps.
There were... it was all kinds of shit. All kinds of imports and exports because Britain needed money after losing the fucking war to France.
Yep. And they lost the Revolutionary War to us because of France.
And they were hemorrhaging money out in fucking India at the same time, if I remember correctly.
And they wanted to... And Napoleon was still continuing on his campaigns throughout Europe.
So... look. Obviously, we know our history.
I was
right?
I was basically giving Harry Winkle a History 101 class on the early years of history. I mean...
I was basically... Could you sound any more fucking pretentious?
I had to explain Marxist theory to him from the time we were at St. Mary's Church walking to Tsunami. You know how complicated that was?
What kind of life do y'all live?
He asks me a lot of questions. He just asks me random questions, and they happen to be stuff I know things about.
Goddamn.
But he was, what was I talking about with the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812? What kind of life do I live?
Moving on. Because the folks didn't come here to hear us rant about critical race theory for an hour and a half. At least not today, anyway. We do have other things to get to.
But how about we take a break?
Forgive me, but no one must look under there. This is the most secret machine in my entire factory. This is the one that's really going to sizzle old Slugworth.
What's it do?
Would you like to see?
Gotta love stars and celebrities with a sense of humor.
Thank you, man. Brendan Fraser.
Oh man, Brendan Fraser's in the news.
Did you see he was back out? He's got a movie coming out called No Sudden Moves. I don't think it's a comedy, although it's starring John Hamm, Benicio del Toro, and Don Cheadle.
I don't know with that cast because John Hamm is actually low-key fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle is openly hilarious. And Benicio del Toro is also very low-key hilarious.
Yes. Well, apparently Brennan is going to be playing a 600-pound man.
Wow.
So he put on some weight recently. And, of course, the paparazzi, being dirty as they are, caught him looking extra thick out here in these streets. So photos have been surfacing on the internet of Brendan Fraser looking like, he might need to join Will Smith in a little bit.
Yeah, but people have been picking on Brendan Fraser for so long now, it kind of just feels like it's picking a dead puppy.
Is it really picking on him, though? Because I feel like the internet, adores him and wishes he would come back. And apparently he's going to be making his return here soon.
It's like half the internet loves him, and it's not even half. It's like a small segment loves him, and then everybody else just likes to shit on him because he's like the celebrity who they found out looks like crap.
Yeah, well, I think that's because,
have you seen Dane Cook lately? His face looks like it got stretched in the Mario 64 loading menu.
Damn, are we gonna be out here just body shaming people?
Clearly it was his choice. It was work.
Yeah.
Okay, so the NBA playoffs are actually, going on, and this won't be super dated when we post it.
You said it won't be super dated?
It won't be super dated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because...
So, we're not going to go into, the game count and everything, but we're just going to say we have the Suns versus the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, which is the first conference finals the Clippers have ever been in as a franchise, and only the second that Chris Paul has ever been in. And this is even better, because not has Chris Paul never been to the finals, but he used to play for the Clippers. So to get to the finals, he has to beat his former team. So there's a nice little story arc for you.
I like that.
And in the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the super shocking Atlanta Hawks, who Trae Young he's done quite a heel turn. Like when he beat New York, he did a Broadway bow.
Wow, how petty. I feel like everything is like the fucking WWE now. Thanks, Vince.
And
Really
the Milwaukee Bucks, who are also in the Eastern Conference Finals. And Giannis went off in Game 7.
Oh, did he?
To knock out the Nets. And if you saw, they were 1 inch from losing. Kevin Durant's foot was 1 inch on the 3-point line when he nailed the shot with somebody in his face.
That's petty.
With 0.3 seconds left on the clock. His foot was over by 1 inch.
That's petty as fuck, son.
And then they went into overtime, and the Bucks were able to pull it out.
Shit.
In a really it was.
So who do you think is going to win the finals? Or who do you think is going to the finals?
Do I think, or who do I want? I think Milwaukee is going to go to the finals out of the East, and I want Milwaukee out of the finals to go to the East.
Damn, when was the last time Milwaukee went to the finals?
Over 40 years ago.
Shit.
They won. So the last time they went to the finals, they won with Oscar Robertson and Lou Alcindor. Do you know who Lou Alcindor is?
No,
He's
fuck I
more
do not.
commonly referred to as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, okay. So it was Kareem before he changed his name to Kareem.
Yes.
So that is the last time the Bucks won. Was the last time the Bucks won was before Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
was calling himself Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's fucking crazy.
For the finals, I want the Suns to win. The Clippers, Kawhi has been injured.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
They had to play the last 2 games without Kawhi, and Paul George was not pandemic P. He was playoff P.
Oh, Paul George came through it.
Oh yeah, Paul George came super through.
Yeah, held it down.
He definitely did. So now we have Chris Paul and the Suns versus the Clippers. The Suns haven't been in the finals since they lost to Michael Jordan with Charles Barkley.
Would you call it a curse?
And with the exception of the Bucks with their 1 NBA championship, the other 3 teams have no NBA championships between them.
Oh, so this is the year of the underdogs then.
This is a year of the what the fuck is what the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is what?
Like, the Lakers got knocked out because of injuries. Like, the Nets got knocked out because of injuries.
Damn.
Like, we don't think the Nets would have lost if they had Kyrie Irving playing at all and James Harden not walking around on one leg.
So, with so many injuries happening at the moment, do you think there's some kind of like correlation between all of them?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a correlation between the injuries and also the Sixers are... Zach is going to listen to this. Doc Rivers doesn't know how to coach, and Ben Simmons is not going to be a Sixer next year.
Is that because you think Ben Simmons is going to leave willingly?
No, he's going to get his ass. He's going to get his ass traded way quick.
Damn, trashier like that, huh?
Yeah, missing free throws, not knowing how to play. He refuses to shoot the ball outside of the paint. I shoot the ball outside of the paint.
Maybe it's because he knows he has no art. Like
I think he's legit scared to shoot. But yes, I want Chris Paul.
That's something he's gonna have to work on.
I want Chris Paul and the Suns to win the finals. And I think you're probably the same way because you were all aboard the Suns bandwagon in the bubble.
But that's because they were playing right. Like
they went undefeated in the bubble.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were playing nice. And I think it's nice to see teams that we don't normally see make it to the playoffs. You know, the last couple of years have been Miami, Golden State, you know, Lakers. Like,
it's been whatever team LeBron James has been on.
Right. Right. You know.
I just want everybody, like, everybody's gonna shit on LeBron. 2 things. 1, he's like 104.
Shit, don't do that to the man.
He's legit like 38 though.
Have you seen Space Jam yet?
It's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet. That's right. Have you seen more of the clips though? I mean,
I have not.
Yo,
you have?
The more I keep seeing, the more I'm afraid to watch this movie. So
oh god, I'm gonna have to watch some of this shit on break then.
Like,
but LeBron's like 104.
Not to say that Jordan was a good actor, right? Like, Michael Jordan's only been in 1 movie ever, right? As far as I can remember, right? Like,
the shitty thing is LeBron was really good at the movie Trainwreck.
Yo, I don't know, son. LeBron feels like Mark Zuckerberg in this movie.
Like, I remember when I was human.
Like, yeah, like, just awkward, Joe. Like, it just, like, LeBron, I don't know. I feel like...
He's kind of an awkward dude, though.
I feel like they put him in a weird room in, like, a green screen suit, and they were like, alright, LeBron, act natural. And he was like, how the fuck is... What?
He's like, how?
Oh, God. I don't know. Like I said, I've only seen clips. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe... LeBron is supposed to be. Maybe it's a thing they're doing, right? Where it's like LeBron is funny because he's awkward. I don't know. Maybe.
So, but I just want to let people know, LeBron James has been in the NBA Finals more than he's not been in the NBA Finals.
Has he been to the finals more than Michael at this point?
Yeah, Michael went to the finals 6 times and he won all 6. LeBron has been to the finals. Oh God, I have to think. 07. 2011 through 2018. I think he's been in the finals 11 times.
And won
4.
4. That's what I thought.
No, I think he's been in the finals 10 times. He's 4 and 6.
You know what I'm trying to figure out? When these haters is finally gonna stop trying T-Pain. That's what I'm trying to figure out. My man T-Pain was in the news again for giving it to you haters in Call of Duty. When are y'all gonna learn that this man is multi-talented, multifaceted, and not to be fucked with?
Multi-talented.
He keeps making these haters on Call of Duty, and I'm so here for it. I'm here for like anything T-Pain does.
I love T-Pain ever since the fucking I'm on a boat video. I picked you and T-Pain.
He had a TV show on like Fuse or something like that where I forget what the fuck it was called, but he like did like some Anthony Bourdain shit, except for the whole spin was every place or thing that he went to go do was owned by like an independent entrepreneur or something like that. Like it was pretty cool. It was pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
What's also cool is the fact that he is like trying to be a legitimate streamer. He's got like a legitimate Twitch stream and everything like that. And I would love to see T-Pain on one of these E-Leagues. I mean,
I told you.
I feel like he's got enough money. I saw a video of him not realizing that how to check his like Instagram DMs or like sort his Instagram.
Oh yeah!
Yo, and he was out front of his fucking house, and I was like, oh my god, who the fuck said T-Pain was broke? Like, Jesus Christ, this nigga's house looked amazing, son. It's like, get the fuck, I need me some T-Pain money. I'm gonna buy you.
I told you about the time I played against a streamer on Arena, right? Oh man, was actually hilarious. But I'll tell you that because I'm also gonna get real mad after break.
A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight.
Oh right, I said I was gonna start on my my magic story. So I played against this player.
Ooh, a magic story.
It was a while ago at this point, but I played against this player online who was ranked 10th at the time.
Was he a wizard?
Why did you assume that their gender was male?
Anyway. God damn it.
So, they were ranked 10th. Were.
They were.
I fucking destroyed them. In
Did
like
you
5 minutes.
Get consent first?
No, they don't need consent when I just 2-0 their ass on Arena.
I'm gonna let you have that one.
So, I beat that player, right? I've actually beaten a couple of pro players. I played against the best player of all time. They did beat me, but
damn. Well, I mean, they wouldn't.
It was kind of almost like a starstruck moment. That was actually funny. So I was at the tournament, right? And I see I don't even see my pairings. I'm doing really well in the tournament, and my friend MJ runs up to me. He's just like, "Dan, you're playing Finkel! You're playing Finkel!"
Oh shit. It's
and
like that.
I'm like, Finkel? He's like, "You're playing John Finkel!" John Finkel is one of the top 2 greatest Magic players of all time.
Shit.
I sit across from him and I'm like, "Hi, my name's Dan." He's like, "Hi, I'm John." And I'm like, "Nice to meet you." We talk a little small talk.
So you tried to play like you didn't know who this nigga was?
No. I'm sure I totally knew who he was, but I wasn't gonna act like he's a celebrity, right?
Yeah, but when he introduces himself, you wasn't like, "Nigga, of course we know who the fuck you is."
No, like, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I was like, I know I'm playing John fucking Finkel, but like, I want to make it like a normal interaction, not only for him but for me. Because if I'm playing starstruck,
for him at this point to be like, "You're not starstruck," but I'm like, "Nigga, you don't need to introduce yourself."
I'm getting to that part. getting to that part. So I'm talking to him like a normal human being.
Right.
Meanwhile, the two players next to me are turned right at him, almost like longingly looking with their head on their hands, and they're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "John." And he's like, and they're just still staring at him. And he goes, "Finkel."
What the fuck? What kind of world is this Wizards of the Coast shit?
Anyway, so
My man said, "Look, we don't have time to
back
get into
to the
all
story.
that."
That's my experience of playing John Finkel. I had a really, really good game against him, but he beat me.
I forgot we was even talking about something else. Go
So-
ahead.
I beat that player, and then the girl I was dating at the time, I let her use my account because I have like all the cards. So I'm just like, "Here, you want to try a deck? Use my account. I have all the cards."
So other people can. Never mind. Look, go ahead.
I told her though, "Don't queue up on ranked." Lo and behold, she messages me saying she's playing said player I beat on stream. I say, "Why are you playing ranked?" to her. Then I go to their stream and I message and I'm like, "Wait a second, is this ranked?" And they're all like, "Are you stream sniping? Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "No, I told the person who's on my account not to play ranked." And they're just like, "Are you stream sniping?" I'm like, "No, I kicked your ass with a totally different deck
I
2
remember
days
this
ago."
story. I remember this story. Old listeners might remember this story.
They're stream sniping, blah blah blah. And he's saying he like busted my, and they got tilted the entire rest of the match. The person playing on my account, of course, fucking loses.
Shit. Well, I mean, yeah, she was just like what, out there for the ha-has, right?
I just told her not to play ranked. She queued up for ranked.
I mean, she probably didn't know what she was doing, right? That's like
Clearly, after watching that match.
letting your girl play, you know, your 2K and you tell her not to go online, and you know the shit just automatically boots up online because that's how you normally play, right? And she don't know all your settings.
No, she totally knows how to queue up for ranked. That brings me into another good point, because we're talking about like really high ranked players and pro players.
We talking high stakes, big bags out here. That's what we talking. You know, this ain't no
I'm
regular
really fucking mad
regular competition.
and not even feeling clever.
Oh.
Oh, god damn it.
No, this is some real life shit. Ain't no funnies, no ha-has here.
Fuck Wizards of the Coast, fuck Wizards of the Coast, fuck Wizards of the Coast, fuck everything about you, Wizards of the Coast. I hate you, you're never getting another cent out of me directly ever again. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
After the loving memorial we just did, and you know, of one of the pivotal life moments of my man's like experience on this planet.
Hardly. If you want to hear that story,
You played the top Magic player of all time.
I was one game away from being on the American national team.
Look, with the nigga that he played against and lost to, but that's not the point. What the point is Wizards of the Coast is fucked up. Tell them how they fucked up, dude.
So Wizards of the Coast, as people have been following it all, Magic is a game I care very much about. It is also a perfect example
it's
of
hard
how
for-
not to do customer relations.
Talk to him. Tell them why.
So, Magic has been a competitive card. It's been the competitive card game for 28 years now. It's very easy.
Top tier.
Very easy. It came out the same year I was born.
If you know, you know. The same year
They
you
had-
were born?
Yeah.
I thought it was out way before. Okay.
Came out in 92.
Roll with it.
So, Wizards of the Coast, about last year, said that the World's Championship was going to have a prize pool of $1 million.
Woo! What did I say? Big bags, right? This is high stakes. This ain't no normal shit.
They then did another announcement saying that the world's prize pool, as a promotional, trying to get everybody hype, and they were like, a collective prize pool of $250,000.
Wait.
Wait, indeed. Wait.
So what happened to the millie we was talking? Because I thought it was supposed to be, you know, they said whole reason I came, because...
Was for the milli, right?
Right. Like, yeah, we was talking bags, right? Like,
yeah, but now we're talking 250,000.
So that's like one
quarter. That's one quarter.
1 quarter, right? Like, that's a QP instead of a whole P.
Yeah.
So what happened to the P?
Well, that might be because the same day that they announced the prize pool cut, they also announced 7 secret lair products. And one of them is a Stranger Things one.
Oh, shit. Well, okay. So, it's clear that you haven't adopted to the idea that your favorite tabletop playing game is now a collector card game. Right? I broke this to you weeks ago.
I know, but there's no reason to remove the... Why are they removing...
Okay,
why?
so...
What's the point in removing the competitive play?
So, has the prize pool always been $1 million?
I think the winner of Worlds last year got $250,000 by himself. So, yes.
So,
when Wizards was not owned by Hasbro,
right,
it was less. Like, I remember watching a Pro Tour in 2011, and Brian Kibler got a $40,000 check.
So essentially, what the upset here is them teasing.
The prize pool did increase,
right,
and then has subsequently decreased.
Yes. So they teased $1 million. Right, and then at the last minute they pulled back and they was like,
well, they gave $1 million before.
Right. Oh, okay. So they have given $1 million.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, yeah, just because you came through last time and I was a little tipsy doesn't mean you getting the pussy tonight, nigga. I'm on my period and you only getting, yeah. So, right. Look, we've all been there before, and it sucks, right? You know, you come with a game plan. You know, you went to that little sketchy corner store and you bought the fucking rhino pills or the Vidros, like Big Dick Beetles. You know what I mean? You bought the Big Dick Beetles, and you know, you bought like the special little fizzy drinks that she liked. You know what I mean? And you don't really like them shits. You don't really like them shits like that, but you know it's Nicki Minaj and yeah, so you buy them shits for her, right? And y'all actually end up Netflix and chilling, and it's like, damn, what the fuck? Like,
all right, I will recant. I will give Wizards money on one condition: when they inevitably release the Transformers Secret Lair, I need to own every single foil Starscream in existence.
So is that like the anal of magic?
What? Is it like the Woody Allen of magic?
I'm asking because you're like, you know, right now you're like mad because you're like, man, this fucking bitch done made me, I blew all this fucking money on these Big Dick Beetles and...
You see, I mean, here's the ironic part. While I'm more pissed with Wizards than I ever have before, and meanwhile, my collection is just skyrocketing in value.
Yeah, because you got all the classic shit now, right?
I bought a card for $40. I found out last week is now worth $200. I got the thing like 4 months ago.
That's like when she cheat on you, but you not a piece of shit, right? So then everybody looking at her like, girl, actually, you kind of fucked up. Like, Dan was kind of nice.
I know that feeling. Right. I know that feeling real well.
So now everybody looking at Wizards of the Coast like, yo, why you cut the bag? Like, all of a sudden, like, y'all niggas...
It's even better with a downgrade.
A trading.
Even better with a downgrade.
And do you feel like the secret layers are a downgrade?
Yeah, because even when they... Alright, so everybody's super hype about these new sets they're making that have quote-unquote old-style border foils.
Right, so it's like she going around hyping up her new nigga, like...
And they're not even, like, properly done old-style border foils.
She like, girl, I got this sugar
They are not
daddy and
properly
just
done old-style foil borders.
It's like...
Definitely said foil boils.
Yo, it's like she got the sugar daddy, right? But then it turned out to be Drake's dad. It's like, ew, girl.
What's your son's name? Adonis.
Wow, not Drake, nigga. Drake's dad.
That's funny, though. You know that's funny.
Wow, no, what was funny is the fact that Pusha T was trending on Father's Day because Drake posted pictures of him with his son. That's what's fucking hilarious.
That is funny.
Yo, every time Drake posts pictures with Adonis, Pusha T starts trending, yo. And I'm like, that is how you son a nigga. Son, literally. Every time Drake is like, I'm a good dad, Pusha T starts trending.
I feel really bad for Adonis.
Yo.
That's gonna follow him his whole fucking life.
Oh my god. That is how you talk to your son. On my battle, we'll get that shit. Nigga. I'm sorry.
Are you saying so a battle rap or a hip-hop beef only shows who really won if that's the type of thing that happens? Because at that point, yeah, I think we can say Pusha T won.
First of all, Pusha T won because lyrically, like, no matter how many clever things Drake said, he is not the fucking wordsmith that Pusha T is. Like, let's just...
Neither are his writers.
Two, Pusha T won because this shit had way more impact than even Back to Back had. Remember, like, when Back to Back
was a
right, and that
shot.
shit was a banger, son. It was a banger. Like, Drake did the shit that Hit 'Em Up did. Like, the reason
Is
why...
that a world tour or your girls tour? Like,
Yeah.
there's iconic lines in Back to Back.
Yo, that's same shit with Hit 'Em Up, right? Like, you claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's exactly
when
is that a
fingers
world...
turn to Twitter fingers.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Right. Pusha T exposed the fact that Drake had a whole ass son that nobody knew about, yo. Like,
that went from, like, paying attention to one line to, like, grabbing popcorn, crossing your leg, and just being like, alright, tell me the story.
yo. Yeah, the story of Adidon is what that shit was called, right? Like, Pusha T literally called up Rick Ross and was like, I need you to call them detectives you used to work with. I'm gonna take this nigga Drake down. Kanye came in that bitch mad as shit, like, he wanna talk about fucking my wife. Did you know this nigga had a son? And Pusha T was like, what? Hey, yo, yeah, chill. No. But speaking of Pusha T, Jay-Z was in the news recently because he may or may not have allegedly invested in a vegan chicken nugget company.
Wait, did you make that transition just because they both have a letter in their name?
No. I mean,
Pusha T, Jay-Z.
No, Pusha T, Kanye, Jay-Z, like, Rock Nation, like, it's, the draw is not hard. The whole point is Jay-Z is out here, you know, making his money work for him, and just invested in
a vegan chicken nugget company
called Simulate. I think they are a off branch of Impossible Foods.
Would do vegan everything?
Yeah. So he helped them raise $300 million in a Series E funding round, which also included celebrities such as Serena Williams, Trevor Noah, Katy Perry, Questlove, Jaden Smith.
That's a rather eclectic list.
Yeah. So
Whatever happened to Katy Perry? Where's she gone?
Did you say whatever happened to Katy Perry?
When's the last time Katy Perry came out with songs? Like,
Yo, just because you said that, watch her come out with a fucking banger for the end of the summer, son. Just because you questioned her shit.
Also
right?
because everybody steals from us.
You put that shit out into the zeitgeist, right? So now Katy Perry gonna be like, hold up. I heard a nigga with a second-rate podcast said something. Yeah.
You're a second-rate podcaster with a third-rate podcast.
At least she called us second-rate.
Fuck yes.
That means we are leaps ahead.
Y'all don't know exactly how many podcasts are out there, and we appreciate you so much for listening.
Every single last one of y'all. Tell a friend to get hit. Please.
God bless Jalen Rose for that great line.
Listen. Jay-Z out here investing in vegan chicken nuggets, and if, you help your boys get right...
He'll throw money in, I think...
I will invest in vegan electric cars if y'all help your boys get right. Everything...
As long as there's money in it, I feel like Jay would invest in it.
Everything about the car will be green and vegan. Vegan
and recycled.
And recyclable. You will be able to recycle your car when you're done with it.
Just be careful when you park on the curb on trash day.
Yes, because they may take that motherfucker, because it will probably be made out of all of the toilet paper that I bought.
And have no floorboards, and you got the Flintstones running.
During the great toilet paper rush of 2020.
So, speaking of some great fallout from COVID, American Airlines has to cancel flights through July. Not all flights, but a lot of flights through July because of an unprecedented labor shortage.
Is it really?
They had to lay off 30,000 employees during COVID.
Is it
and
really?
yet the CEO made $11 million.
Was it really that hard to see coming? Right? Because we're talking about America.
It almost feels like they were playing pandemic shorting with the stock market, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna just bet this is when it's gonna be over, and then they got fucked.
We're talking about America, right? Where people don't want to wear masks as it is, right? And now that we are loosening up mask restrictions, we are...
July 4th, I think Maryland just says...
July 1st.
I think they just say, okay, we're done.
Yeah. It is. Everybody is going back to normal, and a lot of these businesses are still advocating that please, proceed with caution, right? I am vaccinated, and I still, when I feel like I'm going to be in a crowded area, I put my mask on. Now, was I in DC running around the streets a week ago with no mask on?
About a week ago!
Oh, yes, the fuck I was. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's why I got vaccinated. Yep. I'm out here risking my life so y'all don't have to, right? I keep seeing all these vaccine conspiracies and stuff like that popping up. People talking about, oh, y'all just wait till a year from now when y'all... Look, I took that risk so I could ball out this summer. What the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, that was the point, y'all!
It was. And you motherfuckers is out here risking your life regardless. Regardless. So what the fuck? At least I might be alright. Fucking stop talking to me like I'm stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope y'all when you're rolling, just don't crap out. Bars.
I was out here living dangerously last weekend.
Who the fuck asked for this?
Yo, it's me! It's me, the guy who asked!
What is this?
But why?
Hey, who man is this? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Who man is this?
Are you serious?
Oh, is that where we rolling? What did we...
Madison Square Garden opened up for their first concert since COVID.
Uh-huh.
They had the Foo Fighters.
Oh, okay.
But the Foo Fighters called out They called out Dave Chappelle to sing Radiohead's Creep.
Okay. So I saw this, right? I saw this whole... First of all, I feel like everybody is in a fuck it moment right now, right? Like, this
Also,
is totally...
I feel like anytime Dave Chappelle makes a public appearance ever, he goes viral.
This is totally like, fuck it, anything flies right now because it's post-COVID, right? So if you gonna G off, now is the time to G off because anything rocks right now.
Anything is possible!
Anything rocks right now.
Shout out to the 08 Celtics, except for all your cringe moments.
Yo, like...
There's a lot of them.
I've seen a lot of crazy shit going on post-pandemic quarantine, right? Post-pandemic isolation. Get ready for get ready. You should be ready.
For White Boy Summer?
Yo, no. I haven't seen or heard a lick from Chet since then. But I was gonna say, get ready for the streets to be litty, to titty, like...
That's a funny idea.
It is fucking absolutely nuts right now because y'all made motherfuckers stay inside and not do shit for the last entire fucking year, son.
Okay.
So...
This is gonna be fun. What's a Becky?
Timeout.
Those who know caffeine could cause serious delirium.
Delirium?
Serious delirium.
But now you tell me. Well, that may be my problem. Delirium.
Aren't you Bill Murray, man?
Well, I would say, what is a Becky, but... What is a Becky? Anyway.
Why do you ask me these things? We're supposed to be, like, progressive and hip, right? And you ask me questions...
Like, what is a Becky?
What is a Becky? You know goddamn well what a Becky is you grew up with them.
I did grow up with some Beckys. Okay, so a couple of cool things.
I've never been with a black guy before. She says on her 5th black guy.
The Supreme Court unanimously rules the NCAA having rules barring student athletes from education-related benefits violate antitrust rules.
So, I listened to a lot about this earlier today. Just earlier today. It's like, no, I've seen this quite a bit, and I've seen a decent amount of discussion around this whole thing. I feel like at this point in time, to ignore the fact that college or collegiate sports brings in a shit ton of revenue that could potentially benefit the students playing in a way that their college degrees may not, is absurd, right? To like continue ignoring that fact.
You get a college education! Yeah, you're throwing me up on billboards, asshole.
It's not even like some of these universities bring in like millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like, if you look at
Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Louisville,
if you
North
look
Carolina,
at non-federal government employees, the highest paid non-federal government employee in a lot of states, like the majority of states, is the college sports coach.
Yep.
Yo, like, I'm talking over hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So if the coaches can make that much money, when it is the players who are bringing in that revenue, and let's face it, a lot of these players, like, and this isn't, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but like a lot of these players are not going to continue, they're not here to continue an athletic career.
Nope.
They are there to pursue an education.
Yep.
And they are bringing the school in tons of revenue.
Yep.
That could set them up for an advance of generations of wealth.
Yep.
And
imagine what would happen if Zion Williamson was able to get a brand deal or something like that, or even get paid from Duke's usage of his image.
Right. And we're not even...
The time he was there. Zion was everywhere. Obama went to a game Zion was playing in.
We're not even talking about image licensing. We are just talking about schools being able to offer financial opportunities and rewards to students, bringing in significant amounts of revenue. I mean, the reason a lot of these colleges are as well funded and as advanced as they are is because of their sports program.
Athletic boosters.
I mean, the athletic boosters pay for a lot of the science wings, is what I'm saying. And it would be absurd to ignore that fact. And there are, like I said, a lot of these students playing on these, football teams and these basketball teams, soccer teams, yachting teams, whatever, not yachting teams.
Most notably, to be honest,
teams,
basketball and football.
Like, they're not going to continue athletic careers after this. And let's face it, a lot of athletes spend a lot of their, physical endurance and maturity in college. These athletes be wrecked after their college.
So here's something I want to say when it comes to people who are like, athletes are overpaid. And this is especially damning when it comes to the NFL. Think about this. All of the time that you spent doing your hobby, imagine being in practice. All of the time that you spent with your family, imagine spending it in practice. Imagine going to college, and you want to get the education, and you want to have the college experience, but you have 2 practices a day. It's the weekend, and you would like to work a job to have some kind of money, but you play that week. And you want to, even when you're in high school, you want to go hang out on the weekends, but you play that weekend. All of that time, for the people who have the capability and aspirations to go pro, is spent preparing to get the first contract to be a pro athlete. And with football, just to put that into perspective, the league minimum is $500,000. You spend your entire life up to that point to try to get a $500,000, maybe you'll be here in 6 months contract.
I totally agree with you, but I even have a different perspective on that whole argument, right? People who complain about how much athletes get paid are ignoring the revenue that sporting events bring in. If you are upset at how much an NFL player gets paid compared to a teacher, then maybe start talking to people about spending money on NFL games.
Yep.
It's not the athlete's fault that millions of people in the United States enjoy watching them niggas play a sport.
It's the athletes getting paid what they are owed. That's why the revenue sharing in the NBA is 51% to the players.
To piggyback off what you said, these athletes do also spend their hard time perfecting their craft to put on a deserving show. It's not like these dudes doing office jobs during the day and then coming to play football on the weekends for everybody's enjoyment.
No, they're in the gym.
No, they are literally making it and perfecting their physical performance so that they can go out and give a better performance.
Also, think about the things as an athlete that you aren't able to do because you need your body to perform at a certain level.
Which is why I said after college, a lot of these athletes be wrecked. Especially if you're playing for D1 schools and shit like that. Even if you're playing second string, you're still doing 2 a days, 3 a days, and you're going out there and you're playing and you're traveling, and the effect that kind of stuff has on the body is extremely taxing.
I do not believe that if I had a kid that wanted to play football, I think I would probably tell them that it's just not worth it.
Being an athlete, essentially, is not healthy, right? The kind of stress it puts on your body is not healthy, right? We both agree
that's a counterintuitive argument because they also put their body in position to deal with that.
They are in peak physical fitness, right? But what I'm saying to you is, despite your peak physical fitness, the amount of stress that you put your body under still outweighs that level of physical fitness. once you settle down, and this is what happens all the time, you can see it in every kind of athlete, despite like the actual intensity of the field of sport that they're in. When you live your life training day in and day out to be at your peak level of performance, and you settle down into a sedentary lifestyle, your body starts to like, I don't want to say break down at a faster rate, but like when you become used to living a certain lifestyle and then you stop living that lifestyle, the amount of stress that your body has endured over that time will take its toll.
It's also really wild to see like offensive linemen go to analysts, and then as soon as they stop doing that, they just become like really slender, and like they're like, wow, you're like way more attractive than you're not like a 350-pound offensive lineman.
That like sometimes it happens. I guess some changes are for the benefit of you, but like other changes will definitely take toll. Like if you're used to like running, especially like basketball players who are used to running for like what? How long does
48 minutes is the length of a basketball game.
Right.
And average, like a superstar will play maybe 38 to 40 minutes.
Okay, now think about the players who are not LeBron James, right? Like, think about the kind of stress and toll that takes on their joints and their, like, you know, their ligaments and their body over time, right? And if you don't make the kind of smart moves that a LeBron James has made, then, you know, once your deal is done, your deal is done. And you're on the line for all of your medical expenses.
You're a free agent. I hope another team wants to sign you. Now, here's the thing. Free agency, it is a hard-earned, dangerous, uneasy privilege.
I don't even like calling it a privilege, right? Because it should be it should be a player's right to be able to not be stuck to a contract. Like, I get, you know, security.
An indefinite contract.
I get investment security, right? To an extent. But some of the deals that, you know, these players were forced to take in the very, like, beginnings of the league.
As I told you with baseball, Curt Flood.
Right. Well,
they basically, players in Major League Baseball decades ago would just sign a contract with a team, and they played with that team under that contract in perpetuity. So if you got traded, you just got traded.
So, because you were considered lucky, right? You were lucky enough to be able to have your hobby as a profession. And that is how we have treated it this entire time. All the while, these managers, these coaches, these owners are raking in the revenue from people dedicating their lives to, from whether it be the players themselves to the fans whose lives revolve around this sporting event. You know what I mean? And we tell the players that you should just be lucky to be able to live out your dreams.
Shut up and dribble.
Essentially, is what we've been, and that is literally what we've been telling these college kids. Right? And we look at them as kids, but these kids are bringing in some of the state's most highest, like, earnings.
Yep.
Some of the state's highest earnings are being brought in by these kids, right? And we are refusing to even reward them with college expenses. Barely cover their tuition. You know what I mean? A lot of scholarships nowadays just cover room and board.
So we got another Supreme Court case that I've mentioned before. Nestle wins the Supreme Court case against 6 former slaves in the Ivory Coast for purchasing coca beans, knowing that they were tended to by slave labor because the slave labor was not on U.S. soil.
I'm not surprised, right? This is coming on the heels of a live update that, you know, Senate Republicans blocked the Democrats' voting right bill in a 50-50 split.
Yep.
Right? So, here is currently where your country stands.
Doesn't that just go to Kamala Harris?
I think
anyway,
they
continue.
are. Yeah, it looks like they're currently filibustering at the moment.
It is live, so we don't know.
currently where our country stands, right, is subservient to the dollar. If you haven't figured it out yet, corporations run your country. That is why Donald Trump lost. And don't for a second get it twisted. The powers that be, aka the donor class, decided that it would be in America's best financial benefit to get rid of the bumbling buffoon, because globally he was hurting. Globally, he was hurting our revenue, right? Like, his image was bad. It was too toxic. They had to get rid of him.
And orange clashes with everything.
As you can see, though, Biden is business as usual, right? Yep. There's not much progress. Enough to keep, you know, our parents and our grandparents happy, right? But not enough for the new America. The America that the donor class is afraid to actually acknowledge, right? Which is why Nestle is able to sit in front of court and use, what was the excuse they used?
The slave labor is not on U.S. soil.
Because the slave labor is not on U.S. soil, it does not actually, you know, benefit us in any way, shape, or form.
I did not get the vote count on that case, though.
I still feel like, despite the vote count, it's still, you know, their argument still passed. Right? Like, it was enough for the Supreme Court.
I did want to make note, though, the NCAA one was a unanimous vote.
But that's because increasing, or I guess spreading the wealth a little bit right now is in the benefit of the state. Right? And choosing to acknowledge the slave labor in another country that one of our businesses is benefiting from would open the door to analyzing some of the other quote-unquote sweatshops that some of our other businesses use, and that's a slippery slope, right? Yeah. Which is probably why the Supreme Court in this instance chose to side with the corporation. Because if we, like I said, if we hold Nestle accountable, then we have to hold Apple accountable. Then we have to hold Nike accountable. And it just, you know, fucking snowballs from there. Yo, okay,
so we took a real short break for a second.
Yeah, because I had to pee. Excuse me. But then we got to talking about how it's funny that we have a Catholic president because Maryland was founded as a Catholic sanctuary in the New World, and then we got to talking about all kinds of Maryland shit.
Yeah, well, we got talking about the part in the new Animaniacs where The Rock is fighting a giant crab, and the giant crab's like, "What are you gonna do?" And The Rock then puts a bib on and says, "I'm from Maryland," and he pulls out a crab cracker too. And we immediately started roasting it because we're like, that's how we know he's not from Maryland. He doesn't need a crab cracker.
They'll give you the hammers at the table, right? And you can always spot the out-of-towner because they use the hammer, son. No one from Maryland uses the fucking hammer, yo.
This is something I've actually asked a lot of Marylanders. Do you remember when you learned how to pick a crab?
We've talked about this on the pod before. No, it is literally something that...
It's just ingrained in all of us.
Yeah, you just kind of watch it, and one day you try it for yourself, and you like, and you find your own technique. Everybody will try to tell you how to pick a crab.
Everybody starts with opening the like tail underneath.
Well, that's like basic, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody will tell you how to pick a crab, but a real Marylander will tell you learn from experience.
Yep.
Right? Mans was, as we started, Mans was talking about, you know, if you're really good, you pick that shit open with your hands. And I said the reason I don't do that.
Also, eating crabs is so satisfying when you crack it open, you get all of the meat out of like the claw, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, that's a good plug. But the reason I don't do that is because if you're from Maryland, then you know we coat all that shit in Old Bay, and the second you cut your fucking hand open with that fucking crab claw,
because there's also butter and lemon,
and the Old Bay That's it for the rest of the night. That's all
And everybody that doesn't know what Old Bay is,
get hit.
Yep. Google it on Amazon, order it, your life will be changed.
Mambo sauce, and that's pop, right? That's
Mambo sauce is starting to hit the mainstream.
Mambo sauce is definitely mainstream now.
It's gonna be the new sriracha.
Ooh, you said it, and now it's gonna happen. You said it, and now it's... How long before the Mambo sauce BuzzFeed article pops up?
6 months.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
But you remember, like, everybody was like, sriracha, it's like underground, it's like the best hot sauce.
Nigga, I remember when you had to know what restaurants to go to in order to get Mambo sauce. You couldn't get that shit from just anywhere.
I'm thinking about that in terms of sriracha.
No. You couldn't get Mambo sauce from just anywhere.
Nope.
Nigga, you had to be...
I was blown away when you had a bottle of it in your fridge. I was like, you have Mambo sauce?
And that's just not even like the original Mambo sauce.
No, that's like commercial Mambo sauce.
It's
but
mass-produced Mambo sauce.
Yeah, alright, for people who don't know, the closest thing I can think of to what it tastes like is the sweet heat sauce from Popeyes.
Yeah, it's tangy, it's got a punch to it, but it's not like an overwhelming punch. It's kind of got like a barbecue-y, smoky taste to it.
It tastes the way go-go music sounds.
I don't know if I was... Because go-go music can get gunned. Like, anyway.
I was just thinking, like, if you think I got, like, DC things that, like, aren't political, like, the culture of DC, I'm thinking, like, punk rock, go-go music, Mambo sauce.
Yeah. Steel drums.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's part of go-go music. Dreads.
Yeah. Wale! Just dropped a new single, apparently.
Nike boots. Foam posits.
And then people calling people Bama.
Mo. Oh, man.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about before that. The U.S. Catholic Bishops' Conference votes 168 to 55 to draft a document forbidding politicians and public figures who express abortion rights views from receiving communion.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about
Biden is
religion.
Catholic, and the Archbishop of D.C. said that Biden is able to receive communion in any single one of his churches.
Is? So even though he's voting...
In his archdiocese.
Yeah. So even though he's voting in favor of, they
didn't say he was voting in favor.
Right. Well, right.
But, the whole separation of church and state thing here.
Yeah, see, that's funny on the heels of Florida putting into legislation. I will say, though,
this is from the church's side.
Right. Well,
which is not technically bound by the Constitution.
Did you hear that Florida mandated, what was it, like 15 minutes of quiet reflection time in the morning, which they are not suggesting students use for prayer, but it's kind of widely understood that that is what the time is for, right? So I would like to see what
I get written up for just drawing and doodling.
No, I don't think so, right? But it's something, I don't know if if it's even passed yet, but it's something
also,
I would like to see actually implemented.
This was just a vote to say that they would draft a document.
Right. Well, this Florida legislation would implement, I think, I want to say it's 15 minutes of quiet time or, reflective time in the morning. And I just wonder, if somebody pulls out a prayer rug, if they're going to get in trouble. You know what I mean?
I'm also just wondering about all those atheists and agnostics who choose to go to Chick-fil-A instead.
Because
it wouldn't be Chick-fil-A.
No. I find this interesting. I look at complaints from it. Okay, it's this whole hypocritic nature with the First Amendment, right?
Well, I mean, I have something to say about this. Like, I just think it's fucking absurd that you're going to refuse somebody who is not only a follower of Christ, but a practicing Catholic. By the way, Christ is, I think, almost exclusively No,
and
never mind.
Protestantism?
No. Saints are exclusively Catholic.
Yeah, saints are exclusively Catholic. Like, you don't hear Baptists...
Also, in 2021, when the religion is dying at a rapid rate between generations, why would you refuse one of the most public figures in the world?
See, this is almost... And V is not Catholic, but this is kind of why I wish... Or something I wish we had V on for, because it... You know, there is a decline in the youth and religion, right? Like, I hate saying the youth because it makes me feel old, but, like, to sweep them into a generalization.
What have you taught Des about religion?
I am very... My mother never made us go to church, right?
Mine did!
I used to go to church, like, and we went to a Christian summer camp.
Yeah, my mom made me go to church. I chose to go to therapy.
Damn. I have no problem with religion if it is used for the purpose that it is intended to be used for.
Yeah, like, I hate organized religion in the Catholic Church sense, but, you know, like, Jesus seemed like a rad dude.
Because Des is also very, like, inquisitive when it comes to Christianity and stuff like that, you know? And he often asks questions about specific...
The narrative of Jesus?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The Lupe and Royce show? So, have you taught him the narrative, the story of Jesus?
Yes. Yeah, we've had that discussion, and like I said, my man, V, who is his godfather, both of his parents are pastors, and V is very, you know, heavy into his religious faith. And me and him often have theological discussions on, like, you know, the spirituality of Christianity.
How many of them just end with both of you shrugging and going, I don't know?
All of them. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a problem with anybody using a religion for its intended purpose. If it makes you a better person, like if it makes you a more empathetic and understanding person to people's life experiences, then I don't see a problem with it. What I do see a problem with
is the Crusades.
Using a religion for political motives. And some people will argue that...
By the way, using a religion for a political motive happened in the narrative of Jesus.
Some people will argue that it is inherently impossible to separate religion and politics. This country has done I would say, fairly good job of it up until the 50s.
I would say 9/11.
I would say up until the 50s, because that is when you had the classist, racist right who could no longer hide behind things like eugenics, right? Like, you could no longer hide behind, and even it probably goes back even further than that, if I am being honest, because, I mean, slavery was justified using religion. The slaves were not allowed to read or write, but they were allowed to be taught the Bible. And there's something to be said about that. And that's no fault of Christianity, because Christianity existed before slavery is in the Bible, right? So I can't say it existed before slavery, but it did exist before the transatlantic slave trade and the use of the doctrine to justify a racist white supremacist ideology.
Or, you know, the Crusades.
Which was a racist white supremacist ideology.
Yeah. Because at that point, the papal seat was in Rome. Or in no, it might have been in Constantinople.
The Crusades was nothing more...
Istanbul at the time.
The Crusades was nothing more than a revolt to repel Islam out of Europe, because Islam was making a solid foothold in Europe.
It was also, fuck you, we deserve to have the spot where Christ was born. Jerusalem happens to be an intersecting of major religions it's basically...
Jerusalem also happens to be in what is colloquially known as the breadbasket of civilization.
Yeah, between the Tigris and the Euphrates.
Or was a fertile, like...
the Fertile Crescent.
Yeah, exactly. So if you think for a second that is about religion and not about politics, then religion, or the political bastardization of religion, has done its job.
You're really gonna want to listen to that Lupe and Roy's podcast. I think the two episodes are called Father and Jesus.
Right, and I mean once again, those are two dudes that I have already stated I assume or I feel like are the, fucking best rappers living currently. And they're smart dudes, right? Like, they know... They're very well read and educated, for the most part. And
they have a Patreon.
We have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon. I haven't checked it in months.
We have a Patreon, if you guys enjoy the show, and even $1 helps, right? Like, if 12 of y'all donated $1, it would help us pay our RSS fee for the month.
Actually, we would need 15.
15? Okay, so
if 15 people to donate
15
$1
people donated to our Patreon, which the links will be found in the description.
And you have no idea how far paying that... If this RSS feed is paid for, crowdsourced, that means I get Hulu for the entire month.
Let's not go there. But if 15 of y'all donated $1, it would help us pay our RSS fee. And I mean, it seems like more than 15 of y'all are listening. I'm not begging for money, I'm just saying.
We're not saying, we're just saying.
We're just saying that none of this
is normal.
Thank you guys for tuning in again. We really do appreciate it, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Hey, fuck Wizards of the Coast. Deuces.
Be safe, y'all.
Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Stuff?